So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So the new level limit break abilities are live now. There's been a lot of stuff happening, so I not got to this video yet, but let's take a look about the new level limit break. Let's go in order this time. So we start with Zoro, and this is most likely the upcoming Grand Voyage Legend. Personally, I like 4 copies for this Zoro, and I have 3 level limit break posters, so I plan to do a few pulls on part 2 where Zoro is available, so if I just pull one, I'll be ready for the Grand Voyage. Anyway, Zoro before. 3.5 times attack booster for Slasher, 1.5 times HP, and I guess we'll go through the other stuff when we get to real Zoro because it's mostly the same. But yeah, not the best captain before, like with level limit break expansion. It goes a bit higher, and of course you get extra attack if you have Dex or Int orbs, but yeah, this sword didn't see any play at all as captain really. Special has always been decent, 200 times attack in non-type damage to all enemies, makes recovery and helmet slots have matching slot effects for 3 turns, boost /charge attack by 2.25 times for 1 turn, and if you hit 3 perfects, you get the same boost the next turn for slashers. It's fine, I've actually used this Zoro quite a bit. He's pretty decent for slasher teams. Let's press this button instead. Let's see with the level limit break buffs and limit break expansion. Now he's a -2 CD slasher captain. Boost character attack by 4.5 times, HP by 1.5 times, reduces damage by 10%, makes Dex int matching for slashers, boost attack a further 1.2 times when they have Dex int orbs, and greatly boosts the chance of landing on Dex int orbs. So yeah, basically now he's a speedrun captain, which is super exciting. 4.5 times attack, but with the Dex int orbs, it's buffed to 5.4 times attack, I think, which is very good. Damage reduction is a nice bonus, and greatly boosting Dex int actually makes it very reliable, especially if you do double Zoro. That's nearly guaranteed, I'd say, with a double greatly boosting. Like, I've been using Zoro as captain a bit before, and I think the old limit break expansion had the same buff. So it's pretty damn reliable to get those Dex int orbs, which makes Zoro very strong. And it's also helped by his buffed special now. Still does 200 times attack in non-type damage to all enemies. Still makes /charge recover and tandem orbs and matching slot effects for 3 turns. But now he also does a full board orb manip, true block orbs, super good. Right column becomes int, left column becomes Dex. And he still does a 2.25 times attack boost for slashers. But now if it's 3 perfects, instead it's a 2.5 times buff. And if Mihawk or Perone is on the crew, or if they are a support to this Zoro, you get a 2 times call off ability for slashers for 3 turns. And yeah, that's a super good buff. Like, Mihawk supports for Zoro are super common, and if you can't fit that, you can still try and fit Mihawk or Perone on the team. Very cool buff, like the attack boost is basically the same, but having the full board orb manip and the potential of getting a 2 times call off in it for 3 turns, that's very legit, to say the least. Also a reminder that as a sub, he still makes Dex int matching for slashers, so it doesn't matter if Zoro is captain or sub, he does the same thing, which is very cool. Super good buff, and yeah, it might be possible to not need this Zoro full max for a new Grand Voyage, but we'll have to see, since the special isn't changed that absurdly much. Of course, the color affinity might be a deal breaker, but yeah. Anyway, let's go to Mihawk, which is my by far most anticipated one. Sadly, mine isn't level limit break maxed yet, but what can you do? Captain ability. Before, if 6 slashers are on the crew, you boost the chain multiplier growth rate by 4 times, boost slasher character attack by 1.75 times, HP by 1.3 times, reduces damage by 10%, and boosts chance of landing on Dex int slots. So yeah, the typical chain cap, 4 times chain growth rate, and 1% 5 times attack is what all slashers had in common basically before. So yeah, but the 6 slasher thing was very limiting to say the least. Special, 25% HP cut, boost orbs for slashers by 2.25 times for 1 turn, and if 3 or more characters on the crew have dex int orbs, you lock the crews for 1 turn and boost slasher characters orbs by 2.25 times for 1 turn after 1 turn, so basically a timer buff. And obviously this works well with the V2 Zoro we just looked at. V2 Zoro does the attack boost, Mihawk does the orbs. But I say this Mihawk is more usable in general, since you both have the orb lock and you also have the timer buff, which is a lot more rare. But let's see the buffed Mihawk, and I'm super excited by this. Now you only need 4 slashers. It still only boosts slashers, but that's still a big deal. Not only that, slashers also get -2 CD. That's so good. He's now a speedrun captain too. Chain growth rate is still 4 times, but the attack boost is buffed to 1.85 times. That's a big deal actually. This means that Mihawk is now the highest attack chain captain, which is very cool. HP by 1.5 times, damage reduction by 15%, and boost chance of landing on dex int slots. And if you have dex int orbs and tap with Mihawk, you set all enemies defense to 0 for 1 turn, and that's just huge. That's free extra utility for a very easy to fit condition. And I'm pretty sure Mihawk has death down supports. Like, I'm pretty sure the Perona can be put on the Mihawk, the summer treasure map recruit. So yeah, super exciting. As for the special, it's mostly the same. Like Zoro, the second turn boost is buffed a bit to 2.5 times. And like Zoro, you have the condition of if you have Zoro or Perona as support on Mihawk or on the crew. In this case, you get a 3 turns plus 1000 slasher boost for 3 turns. So yeah, they really try and push the Zoro and Mihawk here. And I actually think you can hybrid them up. Usually hybrids are not the best, but I feel like it will work in this case. It would have been cool if they added some form of chain boost to Zoro's captain, but it is what it is. I think they actually can hybrid up. I'll probably try this out in the future. But yeah, very cool buff. Still a chain cap in the end, but is a lot more usable now, which is very cool. Cracker, probably the least exciting one of the batch, but he got a solid update. Captain ability before, 4.25 times powerhouse attack booster, and HP boost is instead other types classes. So pretty weird captain, and he's never really been used as captain. But of course been a great sub. 50% HP cut, changes empty block, bomb recovery and G orbs and his own orb to matching. If captain is fighter, slasher, striker or shooter, you get a plus 1.1 chain boost for 2 turns. And if captain is free spirit, driven, cerebral or powerhouse class, instead you get a 2 times color affinity boost for those classes for 2 turns. Yeah, very good special. Has been used a lot, like not as much nowadays, but still a very solid unit. So let's take a look at the buff he got. Captain wise is now -1 CD. He's still a powerhouse captain, but now it's 5 times attack, so a lot more modern. Fighter, slasher, striker and shooter characters get 1.65 times HP, so that's a nice buff. And their Cyan int orbs are also matching, so you get more rewarded for having the specific secondary typing. Still pretty weird, I'd say, but it is what it is. Obviously more viable now, but doubt he'll see much use as captain even with this. But the special buff is really cool. It doesn't really change anything in the beginning. Still the same HP cut, still the same block manip, but the chain boost is buffed a bit, plus 1.3 instead of plus 1.1. The call affinity is unchanged, but all buffs are now 3 turns, which is obviously massive. So now you can use him on, say, a stage 4 of an arena or such, and still have the buffs potentially for stage 5. So yeah, that's huge. So instead of a 1-stage buffer, it's now a 2-stage buffer, which will automatically give a lot more potential usage. And yeah, really an amazing buff in that sense. Like, I feel like they could have done more with the captain, but special, nothing to complain about. We finally got the cat and dog level limit break, and they're built to be used together. So let's look at one at a time and then talk about them together. So dog before, 3.25 times cerebral booster. Strength slots are matching, and if you have low HP, you get a 1.5 times chain growth. So like a pseudo chain cap. Special greatly reduces HP, but reduces one enemy's HP by 20%. Adds 130 times attack in tap damage for 1 turn. So yeah, not the greatest special for sure. Instead, let's take a look at the new dog. Now he's a -2 CD captain. I really love how they make all captains speedrun captains suddenly. Like, won't complain about that. Boosts cerebral and psi character attack by 4.25 times. Makes their strength dex quick slots have matching slot effects. If the HP is below 30%, you still get the increased chain by 1.5 times. So a bit higher attack, still low by modern standards, but it's made up a bit by the increased chain growth rate, which has a condition, but of course the special meets that condition. Special reduces HP by 80%, still does the HP cut to the enemy. Now it also does a reduced damage reduction by 6 turns, very good to get utility. Adds 200 times character attack in non-type damage, on top of tap timing bonuses for 3 turns. So now it's higher damage and for 3 turns, which is very cool. Like, obviously, if normal attack only is applied, this does nothing, but better than nothing. And you get a 3-turn chain boundary starting at 2.25 times. Not bad at all. 3-turn chain boundary is very valuable. And you get a 90% damage threshold, or well, you get a 3000 damage threshold, reduces damage by 90%. It's hard to explain damage threshold, but basically any damage about 3000 is reduced by 90%, which is very good since you do get the HP cut with the special. So I'm actually very excited by this. Double dog might not be the best since the stacking of buffs is not optimal, but he can probably hybrid up with other stuff, and making strength dex quick matching is godlike, I must say. And obviously you'd have to build a cerebral and psi team of some sort, and of course psi is buffed due to being able to use him with cat. But yeah, let's take a look at cat and then talk about them together a bit. Cat before, slightly boost chance of landing on type slots, boost striker characters HP by 1.25 times, boost their attack by 3.75 times when they have type slots, and makes their size slots have matching slot effects. So basically he only buffed units if they have type slots. Kind of weird. Special, deals major side damage to one enemy, makes striker characters type slots have matching slot effects for 1 turn, and reduces cruise attack down and bind duration by 3 turns. So yeah, 3 turns is not a lot by today's standards, so cat rarely sees use, but he'll see a bit more use with the level limit break for sure. Now, his new captain slightly boosts crew's chance of landing on type slots, boosts striker and strength character HP by 1.5 times and attack by 5 times. So Cat is now striker and strength captain instead of just striker. And of course strength is boosted so he can be used with dog. Makes their Psi int orbs have matching slot effects and reduces damage taken by 10%. And if you are below 30% HP, you add plus 0.3 to chain multiplier. So yeah, basically made so you benefit by being low HP by both cat and dog. But overall, I feel like the balance is a bit weird, I guess, in terms of extra damage. Well, I feel like dog could have higher attack, I guess, but it works out. Special wise, 60 time character attack inside damage to one enemy, makes striker and strength characters type slots and matching slot effects for 1 turn, boost chain multiply by plus 1.5 for 1 turn, and reduces attack down and bind duration by 3 turns. Now this I think is weird, like why does dog get the better buff for 3 turns and cat has the worst buff but only for 1 turn? Like just make it 3 turns, they're supposed to work together. It's still really good, but I just don't get why. Just make both 3 turns. But yeah, it's pretty cool, like you get a ton of chain with this combo. And even standalone, yeah, like just getting that extra chain, matching orbs, and removing attack down and bind for 3 turns. Super viable. This cat will see quite a use. But I must say that it's very hard to imagine using cat and dog together. And not that I'm saying it's impossible, it's just that you have to think so much about what unit is boosted and not. Couldn't they just have done both buff, strength, and psi? That would have been easy to wrap your head around. Now it's like cat boosts psi, boosts striker and strength, while dog boosts cerebral and psi. So it's like the unit boosted needs to be either cerebral or psi or strength or striker. So it's like 4 variables you have to keep together, and in the end the boost unit needs to fulfill 2 of the possible criteria. So it's going to be really annoying to wrap your head around, but still I look forward to trying it since suddenly these legends are just viable. So before ending the video, let's take a look at my current status with these new level limit break legends. Cracker, I need 3 copies. I got 1 dupe. I'd rather save it, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm not that far away. As for Zoro, the new Grand Voyage legend, as you see, I like 4 copies. I just need 1 more copy, and I can use posters for the rest if I need to for the Grand Voyage. Mihawk, just need 3 more. I love to max him, I look forward to using him. And as said, we have this Perona support you can use to make use of the set defense to 0. That's actually pretty powerful, pretty awesome to be honest. And finally cat and dog, as you can see I have them maxed and ready. So I look forward to trying them out. I might have a video up using them later today. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.